Hi, I'm Zoe. My legal name is Anne McFarlane, and this is my story. So last year, my children and I moved to Costa Rica, and it was glorious. It was beautiful. It was wonderful. I found an amazing family of people there, and I really left the United States to get away from a lot of family drama and emotional abuse and just nonsense. But last December, after we'd been there for about 9 months, my father came down to Costa Rica on his honeymoon, and long story short, he went to the authorities and accused me of child abandonment. And he said that I was a drug addict, an alcoholic, and that I had been abandoning my children on many occasions, that I had been starving them, that I had been neglecting them, school and medical care, and it was really extreme, like really serious, and the Costa Rican government kind of freaked out. They arrested me, and I went to jail. And my dad told them, that he actually had custody of the children in the United States, and that he's gonna just take them back, and that I actually kidnapped them. So he was able to use these lies to get my children and get them back to the United States. So this all started as what is considered in the United States as a dependency case. When somebody calls CPS, they investigate, there's neglect, they remove the children, and then that's called a dependency case. And there's these statutes actually in place to protect the parents when a child is removed. And there are in Costa Rica as well. But what happened was the dependency case was started in Costa Rica, and then the children were abducted to Vancouver, Washington, and they initiated a custody case. And so I don't have those rights, those protections in place. They're not following those guidelines of a dependency case because the children were already in the custody of my father, actually, who gave them to my sister. So I quickly filed a Hague Convention petition with Costa Rican authorities, and then a few months later finally got that to court. We had a 5-day trial, and it exposed all of their lies. It exposed that my dad did not have custody like he told my family and the U.S. authorities. It exposed that he did not have grounds to accuse me of neglect, doctor records, nanny statements. I mean, so much evidence showing that I am a good mother and that either it was a misunderstanding or he just lied about my situation. I mean, my dad hadn't even seen me in almost 2 years when he came down there, and he had only seen me at the beach once and at my house once, and then made up all these accusations. So he really knew nothing about me when he made these accusations. So fast forward to now, my sister has had my children for almost 9 months, and she is filing for a third-party custody case. And the only reason why Washington has jurisdiction is because they were abducted or kidnapped to Washington or Vancouver, Washington, which is insane that the court would allow them to take jurisdiction based on a kidnapping. And now they have opened up the case against me, and they have applied they have appointed a private investigator called a guardian ad litem, or GAL. And what this GAL is supposed to do is supposed to determine the best interests of the children, where they would be best, where it would be best for them, or who should have custody of them. And they've also given me a restraining order, and they've given my sister temporary custody. So I'm not allowed to see my children unless I give up my passport, which I cannot do because I have court stuff in Costa Rica that I still have to resolve, and I live in Costa Rica. So they're making it impossible to see my children, and they're violating my constitutional rights in a few different ways. First, I have a constitutional right to parent my own children, and I have a right to due process, which says that I must be first proven that I am currently unfit to be a mother before they can take away my parental rights, which has not been done. I have not been given a fair trial. I mean, the judge has not even listened to my story. He wouldn't let me speak in court. He didn't even ask me any questions. He did not care. And the guardian ad litem, which is also a violation of my constitutional rights, because this is about best interest. And best interest of a child is only supposed to be used when there are conflicting custodial rights, like a dad and a mom who both have rights to the children and they're conflicting. But it's unconstitutional for a guardian ad litem to be appointed if a mother has not first been determined to be unfit. So they're treating my sister like she's my husband, and which is insane. And so this is a complete violation of my rights. They're also in a violation of my right to privacy. They forced me to sign documents saying that they could investigate me and that they could pull all my CPS records, which, by the way, all show investigations that were proven to be unfounded. That's a side note, but because my family has been reporting me for neglect for many years, and I've been investigated a few times by CPS, and it's always come back unfounded. Always. I've always been found to be a fit mother, every time. But so the gal, this order basically says that I have to pay this guy and I have to sign these documents. And when I didn't at first, they threatened to charge me with contempt of court, which is a criminal offense. And so, they threatened me into signing this document and paying, and they want more money from me even. And the only time that I've been able to see my children was when the federal court judge, during the trial, he demanded that my family bring the children in so that I could see them, and he actually scolded them for their nonsense and what they were doing to me. But the children got to come see me, and what happened was they were like, "Mommy, oh my God, where have you been? I missed you. I want to come home with you. Please, will you take me home with you?" And it was heartbreaking to tell them, "No, I can't take you home. They won't let me do that." And the baby, he had a little bit of a time warming up to me. He was confused. I can only imagine how traumatic it is for a child to not even really know who his mother is. But after he warmed up, we were playing a lot, and then towards the end of our hour together, he moved all the chairs around me. I was really impressed actually how strong he was, and he was moving all the chairs in the room surrounding me. And I said, "What are you doing?" And he said, "I'm protecting you from all the bad guys." And that was really intense emotionally, because the last time he had seen me was, being taken away by the bad guys. And then the other notable thing was that when my 5-year-old, when we were leaving, he runs out and he goes to my sister and he's like, "Hey, Michelle, look, that's my mom, pointing at me." And I was like, wow, he doesn't even know who she is. This woman was a total stranger, and he doesn't even know that she knows who I am. He doesn't know she is my sister. So that was pretty crazy. But the last thing I wanted to mention is about attorneys. And I did have an attorney in this custody case in the Clark County Superior Court case, which is currently where we are litigating custody. However, he not only refused to submit all of my evidence, like affidavit from my children's doctor records, blood tests showing they were totally healthy and not malnourished, witness statements, just so much evidence proving my innocence. And he took all that stuff and literally wrote a half a page declaration and put my signature on it, and it was stuff that I didn't even say. And he also refused to defend my constitutional rights. So all of these constitutional rights that I was explaining earlier, he absolutely refused. He's like, "No, that's not going to help anything," or whatever. And he wouldn't show the judge, "Look, this is not a custody case. This is a parental rights case. And so I fired him, and it was actually really difficult to fire him because not only the judge but also my sister's attorney, like, they objected to me firing my attorney, and they like wanted me to stay stuck with that attorney. But I was able to successfully fire him, and now I'm representing myself pro se. And I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but the status of the case right now is that the guardian ad litem is supposed to be investigating. He had a September 15th deadline that he is blaming me for not meeting because I didn't, sign the documents or pay him right away. So, sure, and now he's saying it's going to take at least a month before he even looks at my case, so it could be like 2 to 3 months before he does a report, which maybe is good in my favor, because then I have an opportunity to explain, like, hey, this is unconstitutional to even have this investigator investigating me. And so if you can help me, or if you know somebody that can help me defend my parental rights, not just litigate custody, not prove that I'm fit as a parent, like, sure, that's helpful too, but literally defending my constitutional rights as a parent. If you're an attorney and you feel like it's the right thing to do to help me, let me know. And I'm totally prepared to represent myself. So whether it be like just getting some more advice to help me represent myself, or full on, representing me, whatever it be, I am open to what you have to offer. So like I said, let me know if you or somebody that can help me, and would love to talk to you and share with you some more details